I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT. Two-turn baby girl, you know me. Still with the dolls that I grew beside.
Alright, morning cousins, welcome back to the vlog, or morning cousins, welcome back to the channel. It's Friday. What's today's date? I have no idea. Where is my phone? It is Friday, February the 21st. So this will go out today. Yeah, see? I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah. So I'm recording this today so this can go out today, y'all. So I don't know if you live on the East Coast or not, but for those that do, y'all know it just snowed. So with being in a routine of going to the gym every day and like making that a habit, staying on top of like making that a part of like the first thing I do in my day, to continue throughout my day being consistent. Yesterday gyms was closed. So gyms was closed and it was like no way I was gonna be able to get to my gym that was at my house at the time. Like it was just a mess outside. And then it was still snowing, so yeah, anywho. With that being said, didn't go to the gym yesterday. So this morning, because I'm not, I'm getting into my real life gym era. Like, used to do the gym a lot in the past, but not like I'm in it now. It just feels different. Didn't even think about the snow, if they were still going to be having locations closed. Got up like normal this morning at 6 a.m. Headed to the gym, pulled up, y'all, and was like, there's like 1,001 parks. And I'm like, oh my God, this gym is not open. I done got up, I done got dressed. My mind started going like, I done got up, I done got dressed, I done wasted my time. Like I literally wasted my time trying to get to this gym that's not even open. And then I was mad at myself because it's like, why didn't you check? You should have checked. You could have stayed in the bed, whatever. Just going through the motions of all these thoughts about the what was in front of me at that moment. Thoughts about what was in front of me at that moment. So then I was like, oh, my Planet Fitness is 3 minutes down the road. Like, I could just ride down there and see. Then I had the thought of like, okay, well, if my fitness connection is closed, then my Planet Fitness is definitely going to be closed. Why would they be open if this one is closed? So I was like, you know what? It's only 3 minutes down the road. Let me just ride, because I also tried to look it up on the Planet Fitness app. Again, I'm new to this, not true to this. So I went to the website. I looked on the app. It wasn't telling me that they were closed. On the app, it actually was saying they were open, right? But when I called the number first to Planet Fitness, it said they're closed. So even though I'm getting conflicting information, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ride the 3 minutes and see if they're open, because if they're not, okay, at least I came and saw. If they're closed, at least I came and saw. If they're open, then we lit. I literally rode down here with the impression that it was going to be closed. Like, I had no thought in my mind that it would be open, because the first place wasn't. Y'all, pulled up and it was open. Like, lights on. I literally see somebody. I could literally look inside and see somebody on the treadmill. And I was like, yo, somebody is in there working out. Came around the corner. I was like, cars in the parking lot. They were open. It just made me think about, like, dang, Q, you really stayed the course of, like, going to see, because had you not came, you would have assumed that all the gyms was closed. And 9 times out of 10, you had said in your mind that, oh, I could just go home and do my home gym. That you weren't going to go do that. You were going to go back home, complain to Princess about the fact that the gym wasn't open, and probably not do nothing about it. You had the thought of maybe coming back out, but you had no definite idea, like no definite thoughts at that time that signified I was definitely going to get my workout in today. It kind of was like a teeter-totter effect. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, da da da. I said all of that to say, y'all, in my little experience this morning, that like as I'm getting out the car at Planet Fitness, I'm like, yo, this is things that we do in our everyday life. Like, one thing don't pan out. This is the cliche. One door closes, another one will open. But if you aren't going to see if that door open, you might not never know. Like, you see the door close and you just assume that, you know, okay, that door ain't for me. You don't know if you don't walk into it. You don't know if you don't go look and see and try. Like, it's so many different times where I myself just, me and Princess, we talk about this all the time. We literally had a conversation about it last night. Like, there's so many different things that you go ahead and psych yourself out about, or go ahead and tell yourself that it's not for you, or there's no way out of the situation you're in, or there's no way to the situation that you want to be in, the circumstances you want to be in. Like, it is, but it all boils down to you doing your part. You doing your part. Faith without works is dead. Like, we all know that saying. But how many times do we really take that into account when we're saying that something isn't working, or something isn't right, or have to take a detour, or, you know, switch up the plans? Like, how many times do we just veer off of what our purpose is, or veer off of the things that we desire because something about the original plan has shifted or changed? Like, you gotta stay on course. I preach this all the time in my little car chats, but, you know, this morning I was just like, yo, I could have easily just been like, oh well, it is what it is. It's closed. The other one's probably closed. And just because Fitness Connection was closed didn't mean that Planet Fitness was closed. I was making an assumption about something off of the strength of a little bit of frustration and irritation, just that human, the human in me just being like, there's no point. But then I had that little mustard seed of faith that this gym was gonna be open, or even not even. Faith, but also just that enough get up in me, just enough in me. Like, if you know what I mean by that, just that itch, you know. I just had enough of that in me to be like, you know what? It's 3 minutes. I'm riding. I'd rather take the chance of seeing than not knowing, and I could have potentially been in a better place. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have potentially got my workout in for the day and had that as another day checked off, that I showed up for myself, versus me just not coming down here and checking at all. And now I feel like I'm behind, or now my day feels thrown off because I didn't do the one thing that I feel like sets me up for my day. So y'all, don't get off track. Things are going to happen. Things are going to shift. Things are going to change. But don't assume just because one thing didn't work that it isn't another thing that could work to get you to the same end result. Like, that's it. That's all. Move on to the next thing. That don't work. Move on to the next thing. That don't work. Move on to the next thing. Sometimes spin the block on certain things. Spin the block and say, okay, let me just double check that this, you know, don't spin the block on that nigga though, if he won't do what he's supposed to do. Okay? Use discernment with what I'm saying. But for real though, y'all, like, that was my little TED talk for the day, because I was just like, yo, this is just a situation that translates over into a lot of different things in my life and how I choose to proceed with them. Like, whether I say, okay, that didn't work, what's next? And being optimistic about there is another way, or just throwing in the towel and saying, forget it. Ultimately, the choice was mine. You know, ultimately, the choice is yours. It's how bad you want it. It's what you're willing to do to get it. I was willing to drive an extra 3 minutes and be a little bit behind on starting my workout. I'll get my extra steps on my walking pad at home. That's fine. But I came, I saw, I did. And now I feel even more accomplished in my day because I stayed the course. I didn't let my thoughts and feelings intervene with the goal at hand, with what needed to be done, you know? So y'all have a great Friday. It's cold, stay warm, and yeah, whatever you have on your list to do today, or that you didn't do yesterday, or that you have planned for tomorrow, like, get it done by any means necessary. Get it done, because at the end of the day, it's on us. It's on us to do what has to be done to get to where you're trying to get to. Period. Bye, cousins. Until next time.